Hello and welcome to the programme.
Yes, hello, good evening. Coming up tonight, two mums open up about their battle with postnatal psychosis. Amid concern, the condition is dangerously misunderstood.
Women have to get to the point where they're a danger to themselves, a danger to their baby, for it to be taken seriously.
You know, worst case scenario, you've got a dead mum, a dead baby, so it's something that they need to have that understanding and that awareness of.
The Barnsley Food Bank praying for a miracle after the church they use is put up for sale.
Walking Tall, a cancer expert from Leeds, embarks on a mission to scale Mount Everest after being diagnosed with the disease herself.
And as we go through into the weekend, it's definitely a seasonal mixture, but what does that mean? All the detail a little later on.
So first tonight to the harrowing experiences of mothers after giving birth because of a failure to diagnose severe mental health issues.
Postpartum psychosis is mercifully rare. It affects around 1 or 2 women in every 1,000, but in some cases it can lead to women harming themselves or their babies.
Well, now two mums from Yorkshire who've both suffered with the condition are adding their voices to the growing calls for it to be officially recognised by the medical profession. Michael Billington reports.
This photograph, soon after delivering baby Patrick, appears to capture the joy of bringing new life into the world. But a series of handwritten notes from her hospital bed lay bare Lizzie Berryman from York's true feelings following childbirth. And yet Lizzie's psychosis went undiagnosed until the moment she reached crisis point.
My midwife came to visit me and I was laid in bed. I told her, I'm really confused, I cannot sleep, and I'm hallucinating a little bit. And I didn't know why. She ticked that I was emotionally well. And then the next day I was sectioned after having a really psychotic episode.
I knew there was something really badly wrong. I knew this was not normal. I knew it wasn't postnatal depression because what I was having was these huge swings from kind of high to low.
It was a tragically familiar story for Frankie Rowe. The mother from Leeds suffered anxiety throughout pregnancy with her now 4-year-old Charlie after a miscarriage just months earlier.
I basically spent the entire 9 months thinking, this baby's going to die. What probably did go under the radar was the extent to which I was feeling anxious about it. I think that's probably what was unusual. So it just snowballed, actually.
Lizzie and Frankie are among the 1,400 women a year to suffer from postpartum psychosis, but a failure to identify it early enough is not uncommon. The condition not classed as an official diagnosis among the medical profession.
Mums are still losing their lives, babies are still losing their lives because not everybody knows what postpartum psychosis is and what to do when it happens.
And does that then mean that people are being misdiagnosed and therefore mistreated?
Potentially, yes. I think a lot what we hear at the charity is that people are told they've got postnatal depression. And I think if you're telling someone they've got postnatal depression, postpartum psychosis is actually very different and requires a much more urgent, speedy response.
The length of sort of time that new GPs spend thinking about postpartum psychosis is quite minimal compared to depression. It is rare, so I understand why that might be the case, but the fact is when it goes wrong, it goes disastrously wrong. And, you know, worst case scenario, you've got a dead mum, a dead baby, so it's something that they need to have that understanding and that awareness of.
Frankie's experience with her second little girl, Lexi, who arrived early last year, was far more positive. And she hopes better awareness of this traumatic mental illness could give more mothers, more children, the early life they should all be able to enjoy. Michael Billington, ITV News.
Well, we approached the NHS about the concerns raised in Michael's report, but we've yet to hear back. And if you've been affected by any of those issues, you can find links to support services on the Calendar website. Just go to itv.com/calendar.
Well, some more of the day's news now. And an inquest has heard that a 16-year-old girl killed on a street in Leeds died of a stab wound to the chest. Chloe Watson-Dransfield, who's from Gummersall, was found unconscious on Kennelly Avenue in Austhorpe last month and died in hospital a short time after. 3 teenagers have since appeared in court charged with her murder. An inquest into Chloe's death was opened and adjourned in Wakefield this morning.
A food bank in Barnsley could end up homeless if it doesn't raise up to £250,000.
Yes, those who use Stairfoot food banks say it's a lifeline. But a few weeks ago, volunteers were told the church it operates from is being put up for sale, meaning if they want it to stay where it is, they must buy the building itself. With no viable alternative anywhere near, it's left those who run it desperately trying to raise the money to continue its support, as Ben Bason reports.
We do treat you well, Malcolm, don't we?
You do, very much so.
Packing up a lifeline for the most vulnerable in society. Every week, Stairfoot Food Bank sends people like Malcolm away with bags of fresh and packaged food. He spent 2 years on the streets of Barnsley town centre while he was battling a drugs problem. It was support from here which helped him turn his life around.
If it weren't for these, I would never have ate because I spent all my money on drugs. So I would never have ate. So if it wasn't for Dawn and people like Dawn, this particular food bank is the one I come to, yeah, even though I live miles away. I've took 2 buses here today to come here.
And if this place didn't exist, what would be the reality for you?
I'd starve without it, probably.
Right, we'll make this box up for a family of 4.
But the future of this place is far from certain, after the church it operates from was put up for sale at auction because of a dwindling congregation. The food bank now faces the prospect of having to buy the property itself, which could set it back as much as £250,000. Or it faces a future without a physical base.
There's no other building in Stairfoot, not in the full borough. There isn't a building. We would have to work out the back of vans and things.
The organisation which runs the church says the decision to close was a difficult one, but that it's prepared to delay the sale of the building so interested parties can raise the money to buy it. Those who are supported here, like Martin, hope the food bank is able to get the cash together.
I come here once a fortnight if I need it, and I get a full fortnight's worth of food, which is a really big help, massive help in fact. So sometimes I've got no money, not even a penny to my name. So without money, without this food, me and my son are hungry.
If we didn't have it, I don't even know. We'd have to skip meals daily. Wouldn't be able to afford much at all. We'd not have out, no fresh, no. The cupboards would be empty really.
Fundraising is now underway to enable the food bank to buy the church, because for those that run it, taking this vital support away is unthinkable.
You never know when it could be you. You could go out, anything could happen. You just hope that somebody'd help you. A bunch of flowers.
And it's now those who provide that help who need some themselves to keep this food bank from becoming homeless.
So, Ben, what are the chances of the food bank actually staying open?
Well, £250,000 is an awful lot of money to raise, isn't it? People here have been trying their best to raise that money. They were told originally that it was they were given until the end of this month to raise it. Now that has been put back until the end of June, so they have got a bit more breathing space. And I do understand that a third-party investor is also involved who might help them get to that target. But nothing is certain yet. Nothing is set in stone. There's a meeting to discuss the situation this coming Wednesday. Meanwhile, everyone involved in this food bank is holding their breath and hoping that it will still be here for the months and years ahead.
Ben, live in Barnsley, thank you very much.
Now to the warning to young people planning to go travelling this summer about the potential dangers lurking in what they drink.
Yes, the Foreign Office recently added 8 countries to the list of potentially high-risk locations where methanol poisoning is an issue.
It follows a campaign by families of those who've either died or been injured after ingesting the chemical. Kevin Ashford reports.
Kirsty McKee died 4 years ago on the Indonesian island of Bali, where she'd lived for 8 years and where she'd started a ceramics business. Kirsty was taken ill after drinking a small amount of a liqueur that contained methanol. The news was broken to Kirsty's parents in a phone call from her fiancé.
He was just crying and crying on the phone. He couldn't speak really. And I said to him, has something bad happened? And he said, very bad. And he couldn't tell me. And I had to say, has she died, Damar? And he managed to say yes. So huge, huge shock from nowhere.
I feel as if my life has changed. I still function and I still enjoy life, but there's part of me that will never be the same.
Kirsty's parents say their daughter only ever bought alcohol from reputable suppliers. But methanol is increasingly making its way into drinks in some countries to cut costs, even though that can be highly dangerous, according to this toxicology expert from Leeds.
Methanol poisoning is very serious. It comes about when there's an overdose of methanol. The body's designed to handle small quantities, but not large quantities of methanol. And when the methanol is broken down, it produces an acid which changes the acidity of the blood, and that has all sorts of consequences.
The Foreign Office has increased the number of destinations to 28, where methanol poisoning is considered a high risk.
In countries where this has been an issue, particularly where it's been an issue that has affected British nationals, we raise it at a very senior level with those countries. We obviously want British tourists to be safe on their holidays, and we take any issue which affects British nationals particularly seriously.
Campaigners like Kirsty's parents say the safest option is to drink only duty-free spirits. They also want people to be aware of the symptoms of methanol poisoning.
The symptoms would worsen. You might start to feel really mentally confused. You may have breathlessness or visual disturbances, and these are really danger signals that mean you must go and seek medical help.
Kirsty's parents say their daughter would have been the first to encourage others to travel the world. They want her legacy to be that travel is done as safely as possible. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Well, next tonight to the remarkable efforts of a woman from Leeds who will set off for Nepal this weekend on a mission to conquer Mount Everest.
Yes, what makes Shauna Burke's efforts even more impressive is that she was diagnosed with incurable breast cancer 2 years ago. She now wants to prove that having the illness shouldn't be a barrier. Emma Lever has the story.
I've got 2 pair of boots, so these are my boots that I wear lower down on the mountain.
Getting ready to take on the world's highest mountain takes determination and resilience. That's nothing new for Shauna Burke. She's now days away from her journey up Mount Everest, but it was only 2 years ago that she was diagnosed with incurable breast cancer.
That time in my life was very, very difficult, not knowing as well, whether I would respond to treatment, how I would respond to the treatment, and what my future looked like. But I think for me, one of the probably most surreal gifts that cancer gave me is the awareness that time isn't guaranteed. And that actually for me, it helps me reprioritize life and make the most out of it.
And he said next time we'll do 3,500 to 4.
8 people from home, including her neighbour Jill, will trek to Everest Base Camp themselves to wave Shauna off.
I feel so lucky to be there and to be able to watch her go up the mountain. I have complete faith and confidence in her abilities and her determination and her pure grit.
Undoubtedly a physical challenge, climbing 9,000 metres to the summit is also proof of what life with cancer can be.
She wants to inspire, I think, and it's not that everybody's going to climb Everest, it's not saying that, but if one person is able to feel that they can go to the supermarket, one person gets to fulfil part of their dream whilst living with stage 4 breast cancer, then I think for Shauna, she's succeeded in her mission.
Shauna has climbed Everest once before, 21 years ago. Not wanting to be defined by her disease, she ran the marathon at Everest Base Camp last year. And after spending her career studying exercise and cancer in others, she is now using her own diagnosis to test the effects of high altitude on patients.
So what this will really do is show us from both a practical point of view and a physiological point of view that actually life can go on. There's still an awful lot that can be done to overcome some of the impacts of these treatments.
I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited too, but I'm really nervous. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it's here. Now I just have to put one foot in front of the other and just keep going.
One foot in front of the other, an estimated 50,000 times, but all to prove that even with cancer, it's possible to live life to the fullest. Emma Laver, ITV News in Leeds.
Oh, we've met Shauna a couple of times, haven't we? And she's put an incredible amount of training into this. So, of course, we wish her all the very best.
Yeah, I can't believe she said she was nervous, because after everything she's been through and everything she does, you know, it's incredible. Anyway, Kerry's here.
Hiya.
It's the weekend. We've made it to Friday.
We have.
We can taste the weekend.
A little tiny bit better than advertised today.
Yes, a little bit.
Which is good news, isn't it? It's the right way round. So this has been the cloud cover up until the last sort of half an hour or so. And all this cloud I was expecting to sort of nudge in for the afternoon has stayed further south and west. So we've had some better sunny spells. And how about that for a spring shot? Paula was walking from Skelmanthorpe to Denbydale, and of course that's Emily Moore in the background there. A beautiful, beautiful shot. Oh, and it makes me want to go to Golden Acre Park. A big thank you to Paul Goodyear for sharing. Now, as we head into the weekend, we've got a mixture of warm, sunny spells and showers. April showers, there could be some sleet in there. They could be heavy at times. They'll blow through, as you'd expect. But also seasonal is the RSPB guide on feeding. They've changed it as we head through from May into all the way through into October. They're basically saying that it's to prevent disease. I absolutely love doing it. I love feeding them. I don't know about you, but the greenfinches are well down 65% on where they were in the 1970s. So from May until October, please pause the seed and peanuts. I'll try.
Yeah, me too. Good advice. Thanks, Kerry.
Right, time for the sport now. And can you believe it's that time of year already?
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Yes, we're going to start with cricket, as after a long wet winter they are playing up at Headingley for the first time this season. With ambitions of fighting for silverware, they are looking for their first win of the season.
Yes, the White Rose are playing Hampshire, and Arif has been up at Headingley for us today. And Arif, the sun has been shining today. That's certainly been the case. Has it been a good day for Yorkshire, though?
Oh, it's been a brilliant day of cricket here at Headingley. Ian, it's getting a little bit chilly now, but as you can see, the sun is still bathed over the ground. There have been plenty of wickets taken today, much to the delight of the crowd. And Yorkshire bowled out Hampshire in just 2 and a bit sessions. A real statement of intent for a team with their eyes on winning the Division 1 title for the first time in over a decade. Like I say, plenty of wickets have been taken in. Yorkshire have been putting on a show in their first home game of the season. Typical early season weather here at Headingley this morning. Woolly hats and thick jumpers all round. But after a long wet winter, supporters are excited to see some cricket.
Nice to be back after a long time without being here. And a bit of sun as well, hopefully.
Always helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you can watch it on the telly over summer, but it's not over the winter. But it's not quite the same as being here.
We've said Happy New Year to a couple of people. So, yeah, it's, we don't keep in touch over the winter. So, yes, it's nice to meet up with old friends.
First day back at home of sport, really excited. Looking forward to a good game. We know so many people and you meet so many people. And it's such a safe space for people who want to come along and watch the cricket. And it really is. It's a big family.
Right, you're cool, mate.
Heads.
I don't know where it is.
After Johnny Bairstow fractured his thumb last week, Dom Best took over as captain, just days after signing a new contract with the club.
Yeah, it's good fun. Obviously, unfortunately, Johnny's sort of missing out with a broken thumb. So it's just nice to be back home, I guess, from a bit of travelling past couple of weeks.
And big week for you, new contract as well?
Yeah, individually quite a successful week, I guess. I mean, to have 2 more years here is awesome. Absolutely love the club, and it means I stay up north for 2 more years.
Well, this Yorkshire side harbour strong ambitions of winning the Division 1 title for the first time since 2015. So the White Rose hope that their season will start to blossom by picking up the first win of the campaign here against Hampshire. To help reach that ambition, they've added some international pedigree in the form of Jai Richardson, the Australian fast bowler making his debut after signing a short-term deal.
It's very few and far between that Cricket Australia let some of their fast bowlers come and play county cricket, so he's a talent, and he's going to add some huge value to this side.
And Yorkshire hope a strong start here will culminate in a strong season. Yeah, Yorkshire have been batting for just over an hour now as they chase down Hampshire's 251. And after 17 overs of play, Yorkshire are 37 for 1. Opener Finlay being the only one to lose his wicket for just 1 run.
OK, so that's the latest on the cricket, Arif. But let's talk rugby league now, shall we? And the chance for 2 of our teams to reach the Challenge Cup semi-finals.
Yeah, that's right, Emma. Wakefield Trinity have the tricky tie against Wigan Warriors. And the York City Knights will look to cause a shock by dumping holders Hull Kingston Rovers out of the Challenge Cup. Now, the Knights have already beaten Rovers at the start of the season, are missing a number of players through injury, but head coach Mark Applegarth insists his team will be ready to try and repeat that opening day victory.
I'm confident that whatever team we put out, as long as we stick true to our identity and our standards and our application, especially his defensive intent, will be a match for anyone. So we'll be putting 17 out there that's going to go hammer and tong to get a victory on Saturday.
And we're coming to the crunch end of the season, and Harrogate are fighting to stay in the Football League, Arif.
Yeah, that's right. A big game for Harrogate at the weekend, one which will go a long way in determining if they'll keep their Football League status. Now, if we have a quick look at the table, Harrogate are currently bottom of League 2. Crucially, with 4 games to play, they are 1 point from safety. Tomorrow, they go to Newport for a true relegation 6-pointer. And manager Simon Weaver says the club will fight with everything they have.
Well, it's more than a cup final, isn't it? Every single game now. You know, it's more than just playing for a trophy. We're playing for a status, you know, and a status with our own community, which we desperately wanted respect for. So there's a lot at stake, but we can grab onto it, lean on the experience we've had over years, and embrace the moment. I'm sure we can get through it.
And finally, from me, we have 1 horse to cheer on at the Grand National race at Aintree tomorrow. The Real Wacker, who is trained by Patrick Neville up at Leyburn in North Yorkshire, is one of the 34 horses to run in the featured race. He's priced at 66 to 1, but is coming into form at just the right time. And with about 5 overs of play left here, I'm off to watch some cricket.
Enjoy, Arif. Thank you very much, live at Headingley for us. Well, the Grand National takes place tomorrow. Today, runners and riders of a different kind have been lining up in South Yorkshire.
Yes, this was the scene in Sheffield when children who love a bit of racing had the chance to give it a go on hobby horses. The competition took place at Parklands Equestrian Centre in Aston and involved everything from jump racing and show jumping to dressage, mounted games and more. And there were 9 classes in total, with everyone getting something different out of it.
We get a lot of people who ride. We also get children who don't ride. It is for anybody and everybody to take part in. A lot of children come down here who maybe don't have confidence to ride, they don't have the finances to ride. This is something that anybody can do. It's very inclusive, good for mental health. It's just fantastic.
I love it.
Why?
It makes me feel free and I love it. It's a hobby I love doing.
It just makes you more fit and athletic.
It's a very friendly community and you make very good friends.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Who loves hobby horsing?
Looks like an interesting way to spend the afternoon.
It does, a good way to keep fit as well. I might have to give that a go. Well, let's find out what the weather's looking like this weekend with Kerry.
A clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yes, we just about hung on today. High pressure in charge, keeping things relatively settled to end the week. Looking lovely at Kirkstall Abbey. A big thank you to Bev Silverman for the shot, and beautiful at Elland. A big thank you to John Lawrence. Weather photos at itv.com, and a really big thank you for all your photos sent in during the course of this week. So as we head into the weekend, we do have a weather front waiting in the west, but because it's been waiting in the west, we've had a decent day today. As we head through into tonight though, and the early hours of tomorrow morning, that weather front is going starting to approach. So over the next few hours, for most of us, it's dry. The winds will start to gather strength, though, as we head into the early hours. And certainly for North and West Yorkshire, we start to see things become quite unsettled as we head towards dawn. Temperature-wise, nothing too chilly, but the winds will be strong and gusty as that weather front moves in. So not quite as pretty as it has been the last few mornings this week. Some beautiful photos coming in. 6:16 and 8 o'clock are your sun times. Goes downhill quite quickly tomorrow morning with this weather front. Could even see some sleet and wet snow right over the hills. Nothing settling and all pushing out into the North Sea. And then into the afternoon, a mixture of sunshine and scattered showers. Could be heavy if you catch them. Strong and gusty winds, particularly where we get any showery outbreaks. But actually, in shelter from that southwesterly, not too bad at all in the sunshine, around 12, possibly 13 Celsius. Low pressure parked to the northwest of the UK as we head into Sunday. Blustery conditions, again a mixture of sunshine and showers. Decent in the sunny spells, but feeling cool in the shade or in those showery downpours. If you want it dry and bright, maybe the first half of Tuesday.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There you go. Late summer in the sunshine, winter in the shade. That's April for you.
OK, so stay in the sun is the message.
Yes,
thank you.
Good advice. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks very much to Emma for keeping me company.
Thank you. It's been lovely. I'm looking forward to a quiet weekend now.
Definitely. Hope you have a great weekend and we'll see you again next week at 6. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.